Good morning and greetings from Northumberland. It's Sunday the 14th of March. It's the Sunday we celebrate as Mothering Sunday. It's also the Sunday where there's an alternative set of readings that we so rarely use that I decided yesterday that we should use them, and the Gospel at the Eucharist is Jesus being lifted up, saying, if I'm lifted up, I will draw people to myself. God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, so that everyone who believes in him may not perish, but may have eternal life. And then Jesus sets before us a choice. Do we walk to and embrace the light, or do we prefer to be in darkness? This is one of those mornings when preachers, I think, often tear up the sermons they have prepared either on paper or in their minds. Because we've woken this morning to quite shocking scenes from London, from Clapham Common, where there was a vigil, a demonstration after the tragic death of Sarah Everard this last couple of weeks. She went missing on the, as you know, on the 3rd of March, and her body was found this week. And shockingly, for many of us, a serving policeman has been arrested and charged. And this event has set off all sorts of feelings within the community about safety, and particularly and justifiably has set off these feelings among women, and especially younger women who have to walk dangerous streets at night. I want to go back though for a moment 25 years, because 25 years ago in Dunblane in Scotland an event took place which shocked the nation. A man who, seemingly mad, broke into a school and attacked children and killed children and teachers. And that terrible event, which made such an impact on us, changed our country. We looked at the laws, we looked at the way in which handguns, which had been used primarily in this attack, could be held by people, and we made changes. And there is no doubt, and I know some of them, that people who were perfectly honest and honourable and who held handguns as for shooting practice and things like that lost to freedom. And that's very difficult. But there's also no doubt that a change in culture in this country has probably saved very many people because of the less availability. But the point is, and I don't want to argue the effects really, is that we as a country looked at a situation and we made changes because of a tragic occurrence. This week we have had this tragic occurrence in London, the death of a young woman. And it makes us face important questions. Speaking as a man, it makes me face questions about toxic masculinity, as it's called, but that sort of aggression that all of us will have witnessed in groups where men gather, and the attitudes that are still carried on by some men. Even today, this morning, I was shocked to read comments on social media from some men I don't know how they meant them, but I read them in shocking way. There's a picture in the newspapers of a young woman in part of this protest being handcuffed and held down. And it's made worse by, of course, she's wearing her COVID mask. She looks helpless at the hands of strong police officers. And someone tweeted, "Why has it come to this?" And a whole slew of men said effectively something like this: my wife, my daughter, my granddaughter, my sister would not be out there protesting because it's against the law. What I found really strange is that they seem to be implying that somehow they had created a situation in which their wife or daughter or sister or whatever wouldn't go out there because they wouldn't approve. It was as if the man was saying, I have this influence on these women, and therefore they'll stick with the law. And it pointed out to me something that is there in men. These men may not be violent men, they may not be aggressive men, but they are in some ways patriarchal. My female relatives or friends wouldn't do these things because of me. And there's still a problem there, isn't there? There's still a problem there for us all. And our society, I think, needs to take a very close look at itself and its policing and the way in which in very many areas people do not feel safe and they feel let down. And men and women have to look at aggression within themselves, but men primarily. What does Jesus do? Jesus takes on, absorbs, and defeats evil on the cross. And he calls us then to walk the way of the cross and to embrace his light and in his love. And this challenges us to look at who we are and how we react to other people. My thoughts will have been somewhat disjointed this morning in the face of all this. But please pray and consider this terrible situation. Above all, hold in your hearts those people who are afraid and those who have the responsibility for keeping us safe. May God bless us all today.